Josh, it's pretty amazing. I was kind of calculating our time in e-commerce, and together between us, it's been over 4 decades.
Again, no one do the math on ages, please. But yes, quite a bit of experience.
It's pretty amazing, like so many peers at the conference here at Meet Magento, Florida, that we really built online retail in the internet. And there's so many exciting things happening right now. So my name is Heather Nigro. I am the CEO and founder of Moxxii Consulting. My favorite thing to do is strategize to empower retailers to make the right decisions.
Fancy. My name is Joshua Warren. I'm the CEO of Creatuity. I feel like my favorite thing to do lately is give conference presentations. And Heather, I believe I get to ask you a question next. Do you want to click? Do I click?
Sure.
Who clicks?
We're going to get clicky here.
All right, let's get clicky. So how is experiential marketing changing the landscape of retail?
Experience is such a key word. And I will say this because what is it when we think of the word experience? For me personally, I think about feelings. I think about joy and excitement and surprise. And marketers now know that in order to have a real connection with customers, that there has to be this moment, this special keepsake that they're creating in real life and on screen too. And studies have recently been showing that more and more brands are investing in experiential marketing and strategy. One of the challenges that they've had is, well, quantifying the investment in it. But I'm excited to share with you this revolutionary case study in which actually a beverage became a form of currency to break really all barriers of experiential marketing.
And we don't have the audio.
We have sound?
Revolution. Agora você pode pagar o seu pedágio com cerveja.
Criou jeito refrescante de abrir o pedágio.
Heineken 00 é a primeira cerveja sem álcool a abrir os pedágios e barreiras do seu caminho.
Heineken presents 00 Barriers. This summer, Heineken partnered with Brazil's biggest highway concessionaire. And by using an existing scan technology, turned Heineken 00 into a payment method for tolls. Drivers only needed to have their Heineken 00 at hand. Through geolocated targeting media, we impacted drivers on Spotify, Waze, gas stations, and billboards, creating over 3,615 kilometers of roadvertising. Let's just say drivers appreciated it.
Ok, galera, aqui, ó. Tá pago já? Ó. Valeu, Raio. Sem álcool, gente, pelo amor de Deus.
And just like that, 00 Barriers quickly became the most successful promotion during summer. This way, Heineken gave drivers the perfect reason to buy Heineken 00 on the road. Promotion that could only be done by a non-alcoholic brand. Thought for drivers. Beer and driving. Now you can. But only if it's a Heineken 00.
I still think a police officer should just pop up when he scans that the alcoholic beer.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, think about all the activation points on Waze, on billboards, and then like in the customer's hand when they're going through a toll. I would love to see that here in the United States. This happened in Brazil over the summer, so pretty amazing experience.
Very amazing.
So Josh, you know, AI, we keep talking about it, and it is here with us. It's our friend. I don't think it's going away. I don't think so. But my real question is, do you think AI will fully replace human merchandisers?
All right, so I want it to be known. We waited 5 minutes till we talked about AI. I think that's a record. Like, so many talks. But no, and I teased this a little bit in my tech track talk this morning because I feel like AI, at first they said, oh, it'll never replace a developer. Then, oh, it'll supplement developers. The newest versions of ChatGPT are getting pretty close to replacing developers. And I think next up in the e-commerce space, merchandisers actually probably need to look at, is AI going to augment their decision making or replace them? And I do think it's a fine line. So Zara actually has launched an AI inventory allocation system. So they have taken some of the power away from the merchandisers and put it into AI's hands. Other retailers are starting to use AI to predict down to the store level. So they before were forecasting out kind of across their entire business what their demand would be. Now with AI, they're taking it down to the individual store level. You know, this is some technology that like Walmart, some of the big companies have had for a while, but now it's becoming, through advances with AI, it's becoming something that smaller and smaller retailers are deploying. And I do think and hope that there's always going to be a place for humans in the merchandising process. But I think like so many other roles, it's no longer about kind of that very basic digging into the data and making decisions. I think it's going to be about bringing in that human touch, bringing in the experiences, and figuring out how all that ties in to your merchandising strategy. Because yeah, it is definitely an interesting world, and we'll talk a little bit more later as well about just all the different ways AI is starting to do some of that more basic parts of merchandising and store planning. And actually, I'll go ahead and ask you, can you explain why brand experience matters and give an example?
Well, one thing that really came to mind recently is, well, customers are not shopping online. They're also not shopping in store. What I'm saying is they're just shopping. And the fact that we've created these silos of thinking online and in store, well, that's us working in technology and working in retail thinking that way. But the customers are very much just thinking, I'm shopping. So having consistency is so key as part of the brand experience, and to have this resonance. And a great example that I'm excited about is Wayfair. So in the suburbs of Chicago, Wayfair went from URL to in real life. And they recently built a 150,000 square foot experience in the suburbs, in which there is a dream center that you can test out different mattresses and dream of your perfect night's sleep. You can then go to the market square and have little snacks and delicious things that you might be hungry during your shopping experience. You can also test out this shower experience. And for me, going to Lowe's or Home Depot, shopping for a shower head, they look beautiful, but then you get them home and you install them and you're like, well, that wasn't really the rainfall experience I was hoping for. So they actually have a shower experience that has running water so that you can test out the different flow, the pressure of the different shower heads.
It's surprising to me that no one had done that before. Like, that just makes sense. Like, you want to be able to see how that shower head's going to work. So.
It's amazing. And, Wayfair is really looking to compete with brands such as IKEA. I mean, what other experience can you think of in home decor and housewares other than IKEA? So it's amazing. Like, I remember when I first started shopping for furniture online, and it was a really exciting experience because I had so much more inventory available than my local Crate and Barrel and things of that nature. And Wayfair does a great job of providing so many different experiences within experiences to create your home so special. So Josh, do you think consumers will embrace dynamic pricing in store, or will there be some pushback or revolt?
Oh yeah, there's already been some revolt. So last year there was a few different brands that announced that they were experimenting with dynamic pricing, and I know at least one, Walmart, kind of backpedaled and said, no, we're not going to do it because there's kind of a darker side to dynamic pricing when you're able to really hyper target pricing changes if you do it the wrong way, it can definitely not be good. So, however, it is here to stay. So hyper personalization and dynamic pricing, and those two are very combined. It's here to stay, and a big part of it is these electronic shelf labels. So at first, you go into a store, like I know Kohl's has had these forever. Kohl's also has everything on sale at all times. So they kind of need something like this. But you go into a store and you see an electronic shelf label and you think, oh, cool. It's easier for them to update their prices. They're not printing out new price labels all the time. And that's one of the advantages. But the kind of darker side potentially to it is it also allows you to change the price anytime you want. And so you can literally charge a different price based on the time of day, based on the weather conditions, based on anything you want. And so Best Buy actually tested this out. They used some AI-powered electronic shelf labels to change the pricing. They were able to increase their sales by 15%. And so that's why, whether people like it or not, even with the pushback against Walmart for dynamic pricing, I think it's here to stay. I think more retailers are going to roll it out. I think you're going to see Walmart go back to it and try to spin it. They're going to call it something different. They're going to do it in a different way so that people don't realize that's what it is. But I really think that, it is definitely here to stay.
I think this raises another question is, do you think that there is a right balance between personalization and privacy when it comes to in-store AI targeting and promotions?
Oh, yeah. And this is where I'm a big fan of dystopian sci-fi and cyberpunk. And there are so many predictions of a future where we all have ads, like holographic ads, chasing us around at all times. And we're not there yet, but we're getting close. So Walmart is actually testing AI-driven mobile offers tied to both physical and online behavior. So you can shop for something online when you're logged in, and then when you go into the store, their app can actually detect, okay, this person that shopped for these certain things has walked into the store, let's send them an offer. The next step that they're experimenting with is actually then targeting you down to where you are in the shopping aisle. I don't know if any of y'all use the Target app much. I use it all the time because I don't know where anything is in Target. And it's gotten, you'll notice it can actually show you exactly where the product is and where you are in the aisle. It's a convenient technology, but kind of the flip side of that is now, next step for Walmart is if you pause in front of a product in the store and they want you to buy that product, they can actually push an offer to your mobile app and say, hey, you buy this in the next 30 minutes, we'll give you 10% off. And I think that's going to be pretty cool as long as retailers don't abuse it. It's another one of those things that as long as you're meeting the customer where they are in kind of their day-to-day life and you're providing value to them, they'll see it as a benefit. But if literally every time you ever pause in front of a product at Walmart, you get hit with a different push notification, you're going to uninstall the app. So, and related to all those notifications we get, so how can retailers best capture the shortened attention span of consumers?
Well, I would say social media and TikTok has forever changed the way our mind is absorbing information. And this is an interesting statistic. So in the 2000s, the average attention span of a human was 12 seconds. Currently, our attention span is averaged around 8 seconds. And the average attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. So we have a bit of like fish food, I guess, you know.
We do. It also makes me wonder how many people actually got distracted while we were explaining how short their attention span is.
It's true, though. I mean, we have so many bits of information coming at us that we are at this almost attention deficit, and retailers, you know, are currently having to move at the speed of social media in terms of how they are marketing and even creating collections for different brands. In London, on Oxford Street, a company named Future Stores, which is an innovation agency pioneered by a company named Outform, created this 4,500 square foot immersive retail space. And the most amazing part about this was their first tenant, Intel. And as part of this immersive experience, they have floor-to-ceiling LED displays that are produced by generative AI, the imagery. And it is to promote Intel's new AI computers and processors that will be able to handle AI software. And the other interesting part about this space is that it can change from day to night, meaning like during the day, if you wanted to have, let's say, a outdoor sunny theme, the LED displays can transfer to that. And then evening, it could be like Times Square nightclub. So it's pretty amazing. There are more tenants moving into the space, but it is considered one of the most innovative in retail in London. So this question is for you, Josh. Have you seen retailers using store fulfillment in creative ways to cut costs or improve the customer experience?
Yeah, and Target definitely is a great example of a retailer that has cut a lot of costs and improved the customer experience. So now over 50% of their online orders are fulfilled by local stores instead of warehouses. So that saves them money on warehouse space and warehouse staff. But also that means that chances are it's being shipped from your local Target. You're going to get it the same day or the next day instead of waiting 3 or 4 days. So they're actually able to kind of service both themselves by lowering their costs and their customers by giving a better experience. So I think we're definitely going to see more. I know that it has overloaded some of the store staff, and definitely there's some staffing concerns there, but I think we're going to see more and more brands using stores for fulfillment like this.
And how do you think retailers can differentiate between their buy online, pick up in-store experience beyond just speed?
Yeah, so at first, I think everyone has really focused on let's just have the fastest possible pickup experience. And that works, like especially the holidays. Everyone's looking to get last minute Christmas gifts really fast. But I think that it actually depends on the retailer and what your target audience actually wants. So Best Buy put in a 100% automated pickup experience. Their customers love it. They don't have to talk to any people. They go in, they get their products, they get out. It's super fast. Lowe's implemented that, and I don't know how many of y'all were shopping in a Lowe's like last Q3. They actually, in Q3, ripped them all out because their customers did not like them. They wanted to talk to a person. And so Lowe's deployed a new buy online, pick up in store solution that basically funnels you to talking to a person just in a more efficient way. And again, I think that's because their customers really wanted a higher touch experience. And then Walmart is my favorite though, because especially like for busy families, they are meeting you exactly where you are. You don't have to get the kids out of the car. They have drive-through pickup. So you literally place your online order. They tell you it's ready. You drive through. Don't even have to get out of the car to get your products. It's, easier than even curbside. So that's a fun one. And now, Heather, and I love some of the examples you have for this one, but who are the visionaries in e-commerce that are on your watch list?
Oh, this is a fun one. So Benefit Cosmetics, they recently incorporated the metaverse in conjunction with their e-commerce site. And I actually created an avatar of myself. Here I am. Kind of looks like me, at least fashion-wise. I think it's a little spot on, very bright and vibrant. But here I am shopping the Beneverse, and I am going into the Benamart. And in this experience, which you can do on mobile or on your computer, there is to the left a little joystick kind of application, and you go through the store walking, and you can purchase directly in the application. And this is very exciting for me because previously I would see these all siloed, like it would maybe be like an app experience, or I would be able to browse the product and not purchase it. But this is a full purchase experience done directly through their e-commerce site. My other favorite one is done by Brunello Cucinelli. And Brunello Cucinelli is a luxury fashion brand known for their cashmere and also their culture of really being very ethical and mindful in how they are sourcing, and also just with their workers. It's an amazing company. And they recently created this online experience that is solely powered by artificial intelligence called Solome AI. And it unifies the human intelligence with the power of AI. And it's exciting because you go to the website and there is absolutely no navigation. It is a fluid experience, and it is all, it transitions based on your interaction. So if you're interested in looking at illustrations or photography, the website will naturally pivot to show you those items. You can also interact with questions for Brunello Cucinelli, and it will respond. So it's a very interesting experience. I've never seen anything like this where there's no navigation and it's just being very intuitive. And Right now, it's acting as very much a content website. For phase 2, they will be incorporating e-commerce, but this is their proprietary AI, Solome AI. So our last question for each other, and I say this is also a question to the audience too. So Josh, if you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing about the future, what would it be?
Oh, and this is such a good question. So I thought about this some more, and really, so back in 1998, 1999, I was super interested in AI. I did some work in AI, and I had no idea. Like what I was doing back then versus where the technology is today, it's incredible. And so I think I would just tell myself that over a 25, 26 year span, you can't even imagine the things that technology will do. And so I think just being in the moment with technological advances, following them, putting them to use, but kind of holding loosely where you think they're going to go would be what I would share.
I think for myself, it would be, I could have never imagined how much technology has connected us in so many ways to not only with people, but our interests and things that we like. So I never expected to be so connected as a result of my little AOL CD-ROM disk that I got at the grocery store, putting it into my computer. The internet has changed everything, and AI is the next level. So it's very exciting. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so thank y'all. That is our presentation.
Thank you, Josh and Heather. Did you have another word, Josh?
I was just going to say, if there are questions, I know that the break starts in 2 minutes, but if there are questions, you can definitely either ask them now or just find us as we get off stage. So,
Did anyone have some feedback for Heather on her last question? If you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself? What was that?
Buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin. No one else? That was an interesting question. Especially when we've started with your 25 years of experience. I was interested in whether you'd say anything about that. No more questions? No feedback on what you'd tell your younger self? Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
both.
you.